Hey, 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 good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Quite another beautiful evening. I see we have joined. This is your coach and therapist, Ruth Waithera of the Soul Clinic. At the Soul Clinic is where we fix your pain, help you feel good, and live holy. And we have been here for the last 2 days. This is our third day. It's our last day. So if you have a friend who we wanted to invite, please invite them, let them come. Even as we say hello, I see people are already saying hi in the chat. So say hi in the chat, say hello to us. Let's know where you're watching us from. If you have a friend that you need to tag, please tag them. Let them know today is the last night. We won't be here tomorrow. So if they've been hoping to catch up with us, this is the moment to catch up. I see Rachel Muihaki is saying, hi, Ruth. Rachel here present for the 3 session ready to unlearn, learn, and relearn. Thank you, Rachel Muihaki. Coming for 3 days is such a commitment, and I really appreciate to have you here. We have Lucy watching from Nakuru, day 3. Thank you, Lucy. Happy to see you here on the third day. That's quite a commitment, and I really appreciate you. We have Sharon Guya. Good evening, Sharon. Maybe you can tell us where you're watching us from. Gracie Camille, good evening. Learning every day. Hi, Grace. This is your day what? I think it would be important to let us know and where you're watching us from. Then we have Sylvia Chege. Sylvia is saying, hi, all. Happy to see you, Sylvia. This is your day what, and where are you watching us from? So if you have a friend, a relative, a colleague, a sister, a daughter, a mom, an auntie, or anyone who you think can benefit from our sessions, please tag them, please invite them, tell them we are live. We would love to have them before we start. Then we have Gashira Griselia from Kirinyaga County, day 3. Thank you so much for coming here for 3 consecutive days. I really appreciate that commitment. Carol Chomba from Mombasa. Sharon is saying this is her day 3. Awesome, 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 awesome. Rebecca Wamalwa watching from Nairobi, day 2. Karibu sana, Rebecca. I hope you have been able to catch up with the rest of the days to see what we have been learning. Wanjiro Joroge, day 3. Yay! Hi, Shiro. Good to see you. We have Rose Marubu watching from Nairobi, day 3. Patricia, hi. Patricia Kebuga. Patricia Mwangi. This is day 3 watching from Nairobi. Chepko H. Ann. I love it when I see you here every time. Day 3. Happy to see you. Carol Chomba. The 3 from Mombasa. I'm so excited to have all of you ladies here and everyone else who is joining. As you come in, please let us know where you're watching us from. Say hello. If you can tell us what day this is for you. I think I would also want to know what you have learned. On Monday, we had Coach Paps here who introducing us to healing the inner child. I want to know what your takeaway from Coach Paps was. Yesterday, we had Carol. Carol taught us about attachment styles. What have you taken away for those 2 days? I think I would love to know. It's always my joy to teach something. It's always my joy to help you understand something better. So I want to know what your greatest takeaways have been for the last 2 days. Wow, McKenna Babu, I can't say how excited I get every time I see you here. Thank you, McKenna. Triza K here, day 3, watching from Nairobi. We have we have Esther from Nakuru, Lucy from Narumoro, Mary Kanja watching from Thika. All of you ladies feel very, very welcome and much at home. Let me know what you have learned for the last 2 days. Please put it in the chat. What your greatest takeaways have been, even as we come into day 3. What have been your greatest takeaways for those 2 days? What's the thing that you have learned that you've been thinking about yesterday and today about the sessions? I want to know that you got value from our sessions, from our time here together. So let me know what you have learned. I really appreciate. Even as we proceed and we wait for others to join. I want to see who is telling us what they have learned. Let me see what you have learned. Let me see what you have learned, even as we put up our slides for today so that we can learn. Let me know what your greatest takeaways have been. Wow, we have Chela Naomi watching us from Bomet. Thank you. Catherine Waheto is saying, wow, this is awesome. I love that nobody is coming to rescue me. Nobody owes me. It's my responsibility to heal myself. I am not damaged, neither am I helpless. Yes, this is awesome. Coach Paps taught us that we ought to take responsibility for our healing. And Carol came and affirmed that yesterday when she said we ought not to take up a victim mentality. So we are our own healers. It's our responsibility to take healing. We are not damaged. So take up the challenge and seek your own healing. So I don't know who else wants to tell us what they have learned. For those who have joined, I don't know whether there's someone who is joining us for the first time, someone we haven't met. My name is Coach Ruth Waithera of the Soul Clinic, and I'm here tonight to talk about emotional healing, why emotional healing is important. And then I'll briefly help us see how emotional healing happens. So tonight we are going to talk about emotional healing. Grisera is saying my takeout day one was reconciling with my inner child. No one will come to resolve them but you. Identifying with my younger self deliberately. I like that. Coach Paps told us we ought to take responsibility for our well-being. Patricia is saying caregivers shape our attachment styles in a big way. However, we can work towards developing secure attachments. I like that. We are taking responsibility for our emotional healing. We are taking responsibility for ourselves. So as we proceed, I shall read those comments. I can see people are really putting in what their lessons have been. And tonight I want to talk about emotional healing because a lot of us carry pain. And I say emotional pain can be difficult because people don't see it. Even the carriers sometimes have a problem identifying what it is that is happening. And emotional healing may look like it is something out there, like you don't know what to do, like you don't understand exactly what you're supposed to do. But emotional healing simply means that you have the ability to take proper control of painful thoughts, feelings, and emotions so that they do not interfere with the present moments. So it's you being in charge of your internal environment. It's you not allowing the pain, the grief, the anger, the trauma to take over your life. It's you learning that you have the ability to take control. You don't allow your emotions to run amok. And pain will always come. Pain is part of life. Pain is part of what we will go through because we are human. So what do you do when pain comes? What do you do when somebody betrays you? What do you do when someone doesn't treat you the way you expected them to? So why is this healing so important? Because you don't want painful or bad experiences running the show for the rest of your life. You don't want something that happened to you when you were 4, 5, or 15, or 20 to run the show or to ruin the rest of your life. Because what a way to live. That is not living. So if you want to have a thriving, peaceful, fruitful life, you need to learn how to take charge of those emotions. There's a lady called Kedia Shitiva, and she says that trauma will make you run today with yesterday's script. So instead of living in the present moment, you will always be tied to the past. You'll always be tied to the emotions that come with something that happened in the past. Yet, the past is in the past. It's yesterday. There's nothing you can do about what happened. The only thing you can do is to take charge so that what happened yesterday doesn't run the rest of your life. Because unhealed trauma keeps you on trigger mode. A lot of things will trigger you. You'll get physical symptoms. You get psychological, emotional problems because you have not processed your trauma. It's no way to live. And I want you to look at the effects of childhood trauma and pain on relationships. So this is what happens when you don't process your pain. This is what happens when you don't process your trauma. You become a people fixer. You will always be on call to fix other people's problems, yet you can't fix yours. Everybody will rely on you to help them fix their problems, yet you can't rely on yourself to fix yourself. Very external towards other people, never towards self. You become a people pleaser. You are willing to do anything to keep other people happy, anything. Even when it goes against your values, even when it goes against your financial abilities, you just want to do something to make other people happy. You become a codependent. Codependent are people who are addicted to relationships and to people. You find yourself hanging around and getting stuck in relationships that are not good for you because you can't walk away. You can't say no. You'll be the kind of a person that always requires external validation. You have to check with someone before you make a decision for them to say whether you're making the right decision or not. And if they say no, no matter how much you wanted to do that which you are asking about, you won't do it. Living on high alert. Insecurity. You feel like the world is unsafe. You have paranoia. You always assume the worst. You're always afraid of the worst. Fear of abandonment. You can't be alone. So you have to look for people to hang around, even if those people are not good for you and they're not safe for you. Fear, deprioritizing own needs. And this one is a huge one. You never put yourself as a priority. You always come last. You will meet everybody else's needs but yours. Then there is the need to prove yourself. You always feel like love is so conditional that you need to earn it by doing something. Or you'll go out of your way to do stuff for other people so that you can be accepted and loved, because we don't understand unconditional love because we have never experienced it. You will find yourself attracting narcissistic partners, people who are abusive, emotionally unavailable. Those are the kind of partners that you find yourself attracting because of unhealed childhood trauma. You have difficulty setting boundaries. You can't say no. You get enmeshed in relationships. Carol talked about it yesterday. She talked about Ubuntu. But as we get so enmeshed in each other's mess, in each other's business, you carry other people's burdens as if they are yours at the expense of your own needs. So if you find yourself with those characteristics, just know you have trauma that you have not processed. Then we have the physical effects. Tension in your body. You never rest. Numbing of pain. Startle response, where you're always afraid of something. Some people get tingling sensations. Shortness of breath, heart palpitations, restlessness. You're always feeling on edge, like you're waiting for something. You're looking around for doom. Something has to go wrong. Heaviness. You have a knot in the stomach. Your heart is heavy. You are feeling like you're in pain. Dizziness. Hypervigilance. You're always aware of your surrounding. Always looking out for danger or threat. Dissociation, whereby you have flashbacks, memory loss. There are sometimes, there's an instance or a certain period of your life that you can't really recall. Something happened there. You can't really recall that event, how it happened. And this one is very common. If you're dealing with trauma, you just have this poor memory. You don't seem to remember people. You don't seem to remember events accurately. The world around you doesn't feel real. You feel like you are out of touch with it. Heightened sensitivity about things that were said. You take things extremely personally, that it becomes very hard even for someone to give you constructive criticism because you are too sensitive. Then we have medical symptoms, high blood pressure, gastrointestinal problems, headaches, migraines, diabetes, lifestyle diseases because of unprocessed trauma, because you are likely going to find yourself in this stuff trying to numb the pain that lives within you that you haven't been in touch with. You have difficulty sleeping. So you have difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, waking during the night. You have restless sleep whereby you don't feel rested. You wake up in the morning and instead of feeling rested, you feel tired. Then you have fear and panic over small things. A small thing like this has the potential to trigger you and to mess up your day or to mess up a week. You are irritable. You have anxiety, mood swings. You are guarded, extra guarded. You are putting walls in your relationships. There's this feeling of hopelessness, like I'm doomed. My life doesn't make sense. Even what I'm doing doesn't bring me joy, doesn't bring me satisfaction. There's an emptiness in your soul that nothing seems to fill. So if you are feeling this kind of stuff, or this is your experiences, there's childhood trauma. I like to say I suffered from childhood trauma for a long time, the effects of it. And I never knew what was happening because I was not aware that there's something called childhood trauma. But I knew something was wrong. I was disconnected from self. I had anxiety, bad anxiety that had the potential. There are sometimes I make fun and say that anxiety used to lock me out of myself. I would get disconnected, my thoughts, my heart, and my soul completely disconnected. And I would find myself operating like a zombie mode. Niko tu. I wake up in the morning, I can shower, put on clothes, take breakfast, go to work. But anything beyond that, I can't be creative. I can't be happy. I used to laugh and get a headache because there was such a disconnect in my system, but I didn't know it was trauma. So anxiety ruled my life for a very, very long time, and I was unaware of it. All I knew is that I would go through moments where I'm really not myself. I'm disconnected from self completely. Completely. And I looked like a shell, really a shadow of my former self. So if those are your experiences, if that is what you are going through, how does the healing process look like? The healing process, I have decided to put it in 4 steps. There could be more, other people will categorize it differently, but I look at it in 4 steps. The first step is to acknowledge. You need to acknowledge that you are in pain. You need to acknowledge that what happened, that incident or that experience affected you in a bad way. A lot of us walk around numbing. We are too or two. We don't want to get in touch. We don't want to accept that things were as bad as they were. Don't deny, because even if you deny, the truth doesn't change. You need to acknowledge that that situation was bad. And then you allow yourself to experience the emotions that are associated with that experience. So acknowledgement is difficult. It is difficult because it puts you face to face with the truth. And a lot of us would rather run, go west if truth is east, than meet with the truth. But however difficult that is, it's the very crucial starting point. And my mantra in healing is this one, that there is no healing in the absence of truth. There's nothing like fake it until you make it when it comes to healing emotional pain and trauma. There is nothing. You can fake it all you want. Pain will remain buried. You will always be disconnected. You will not be living in purpose. You will not be living an authentic life. So until you are ready to face the truth, face it head on, no matter how difficult it is, healing will not happen. Once you acknowledge, now you start processing. You start exploring those feelings and thoughts. And this is where therapists, coaches, support groups come into. Because sometimes you want to process something, but you don't have the tools. So you don't know, okay, so fine, I know this happened, it was bad, and the pain is affecting me. So what do I do? So this is where therapists and the others that have the tools, the coaches, and joining support groups, this is where they come in handy to help you. Because after acknowledgement, you need process. Because pain does not love to be ignored. No, you can't ignore pain, it will show up. Pain loves to be acknowledged and processed. Processing and acknowledging pain won't kill you as long as you have the right tools. What will kill you is numbing pain, burying it behind somewhere. That will kill you. But processing it won't. So talk about your experiences to people that you can trust, to people that are supportive, to people who know how to give you the right tools. This will help you gain perspective and understand your emotions. So don't shove down pain. Shove it down your throat. Don't shove it down. Let's start processing it. Let's start accepting that pain is pain and that pain is difficult. But pain ignored will kill you. Pain acknowledged and processed will bring you growth. So if you want to grow and you're feeling stuck in an incident that caused you pain, the only way forward, the only way out is processing. Nothing else. Because pain never goes anywhere. Then when you're processing it, we release the pent-up emotions and negative thoughts that you associate with that pain. So express your pain in a healthy way. Journaling is one, art is another, and there are many others. Just give it space out. Create a distance. These activities help us create a distance between us and the pain. That you can now look at it and look at it objectively. That you can now look and say, pain is not part of me. It's not me. It's just something that happened that caused me pain. But pain is not me. Pain is passing if I allow it to pass. If I process it, I will have allowed it to pass. So look for healthy ways to release that pent-up pain. Because pain within you is like pressure. It's imefungiwa huko ndani. It will do a lot of damage. Give it a way out. A release point. A way for it to exit your system. Because the more you keep it locked in your system, the more damaging it is for you. So look for a way of and a healthy way. Don't numb your pain, because we numb our pain through addictions. And addictions are many. We can be addicted to drugs, to alcohol, to sex, to shopping, to eating, food addictions. So don't lock your pain inside and then look for addictive behaviors to try and numb it. Because those behaviors in the long run are damaging. They're unhealthy. They're unhelpful. So the best thing is to look for healthy ways to release those emotions. And I see a lot of people have joined us. And as we proceed, I want to know if you have a question. I will be taking my questions as I move on. So if you have a question or something that you want me to address, please put it in the chat so that I'm able to address it. And even as you're processing your pain, I want you to know that forgiveness is necessary. And this could be forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others. Because as long as you're in relationships with people, people will hurt you. They'll say and do stuff that you would never want them to say. They'll do stuff that is hurtful. So as long as you're in a relationship with people, they'll hurt you. So you'll need to keep on forgiving a lot. And some people will forgive not because they deserve it. And I say this with a lot of conviction that there are some people who really don't deserve forgiveness because they're not even remorseful. But we don't forgive it for them. We do it for ourselves. Because the more you carry burdens within your heart, the more you refuse to give them space to get out, the more difficult your life will be, the more sicker you will be. You will battle with mental health issues. You will battle with physical health issues. So, convince your heart that no matter how difficult it is, no matter how much someone does not deserve to be forgiven, because they caused you so much harm and they are not remorseful, that you need to let them go. There are people who are not safe. And I know there are some people within us who think that everybody is as good as you are. No, there's some people who are not good in this life. They are not safe. They don't think twice before they do something terrible to you. They don't. And they'll be very unapologetic about it. But for such, you will need to let them go for your own sake. And forgiveness does not always amount to reconciliation, because this is where we struggle. Because we imagine that once we have forgiven someone, we must reconcile with them. No, that is not true. So forgive people for your own good, to help you move on, to release that pent-up emotions, to release that pressure, so that you are able to live a purposeful life. Then after that, the next thing you need to do is what I call to integrate. Integration. Integrating that experience into personal growth. Don't allow a painful emotion, a painful experience to leave you the same. And this is not something that I encourage people. Don't force it. Because healing is a journey. There is a space in your healing journey when the pain is so much that all you need is first aid to help you manage those difficult emotions, to help you manage whatever it is that is happening to you at that moment. That is first aid. And when you are getting first aid, you are not thinking of integrating. No. But once you have gone through the processes and you have processed that pain, integrate that experience into personal growth. This is where you tell yourself that, you know what? I have learned ABC from that experience. This is what I am taking away. This is how I am moving on with my life. So use those experiences to build a resilience, to become a more resilient being. So those experiences, let them be stepping stones for you to the next level. That no matter how low you have fallen or the pain has pushed you to, that you can use it as a stepping stone into something better. That maybe your purpose can be birthed through pain. That is how many people's purposes get birthed, through difficult experiences. By interacting with painful people who caused you so much pain. So you learn something. Your purpose is birthed. So allow yourself to integrate. So start to see the pain or the trauma as part of your story. A lot of us have developed an identity around our pain. I am that girl who, and now that becomes the story for the rest of your life. You are unable to rise from it. You are unable to deal with it. You are unable to make it better. Let trauma be part, just a small part of the rest of your story, not the entire story. You must take responsibility and be willing to rise above that part of your story that caused you so much pain and trauma. It can't define you for the rest of your life. It shouldn't keep you stuck there for the rest of your life. Find a way, find the courage to rise from that very low place. Find the courage to find yourself again. Find the courage to find the joy in living again. Otherwise, pain and trauma defines the rest of your life, and you just pass through life. You're not alive. You're not living in purpose. You're not living an authentic life. So what becomes of you? Like the Makonde we used to read when we were young. I think there's a story of Simon Makonde who was born. I think the guy died in 7 days, or how many days were they? How many of us can remember that story of Simon Makonde? Ulipita tu. Nothing came out of your life, nothing. Yet you are so gifted. Yet you are so talented. Yet you have purpose. But you don't live it. Why? Because pain became your entire story. So let it be just a part, a learning experience. And out of that learning experience, you step on it. Let it be a stepping stone to take you to the next level. There's someone who is saying, Ruth, I would like you to know that you're saying everything affecting me, and I'm glad I am learning. I'm not sure how to forgive, though. Then she's wishing someone could hear me. My dear, I know that when somebody is in pain and it has been caused by another person, the only side that you're able to see is them. I wish they were here to hear this. I wish they could do this and apply this. And that is a very normal space to be in. And that is where we need first aid. When I see somebody in that stage, I know right now that person needs encouragement and first aid, just to help you process your pain. But as we progress in our healing journey, there's something that you come to realize. There's something called boundaries. Things within your control. You cannot control another person's actions. You cannot control another person's choices. You cannot control another person's thoughts, their words. You can't control all that. The other person may be here and they will listen to me talk. They will listen to me teach. But it won't affect them the way you were hoping it would. So in your healing journey, you first of all take personal responsibility. So I'm taking my own personal responsibility to rise above what XYZ did to me. And I know forgiveness is never easy. And it's not the first one. You see, it was not the first step. Because forgiveness comes as a process, as a step in the healing process. Forgiveness comes once we have been able to process the very heavy emotions. Then we can talk about forgiveness. But where you're still in the mess, in the hole of very difficult emotions and pain, let's not talk forgiveness first. Let's talk about how we can help you deal and process with those heavy emotions. Then we can talk about forgiveness. And forgiveness, it's easy to forgive people who are saying sorry. And they are not repeating their mistakes. But it's very difficult to forgive people who are not saying sorry, and they are repeating those mistakes day in, day out, and they refuse to talk about them, and they are treating you as if what you are saying does not affect them in any way. So I hear you. Sharon is asking, how do you deal with family members who have not dealt with their trauma? I see things differently ever since I started my healing journey. We don't agree on so many things. One of the things that the healing journey does for you, Sharon, is that it removes from you the need to be understood. Because let me tell you, it is not every family member of yours who actually thinks that there is trauma in the family and trauma is affecting you. You may be the only one in the family of 10 who is seeing it. You will preach that message day in, day out, and they won't see it. Some of them benefit from that trauma. There are people who just benefit from acting in trauma, refusing to heal. It's a tool for them to control and to manipulate people. So you will keep telling those people, you'll preach it to them like the way the sermon is preached every Sunday. And they don't get it. They actually don't care. So you know what? Focus on your own healing journey. Set very clear boundaries between you and them. Stop trying to convince them. And this is something that we do in our group coaching program. Get to a point where, you know what, I would love it if you would see things from my perspective. I would love it if you'd see trauma and how it's affecting you. I would love it if you'd actually go out and heal. But I have lost the need to convince you. I have lost the need to be understood by you. Remember, every soul is on its own journey. Take yours and understand your sphere of influence. What are the things that I can influence? What are the things I have control over? What are the things I don't have control over? And it is sad, especially when it is people you love, it's people you wish you had better relationships with, it's people you wish they would change. Yet they don't see things from your perspective. Let me read the last question as I proceed. The best I'll do is to share this life for him to watch if he will. I've never been this broken. Feels like I've done everything, but still got hurt. My dear, who this is, because your name, I'm not very clear. Let's have a conversation out here. Because I think I feel the space you are in. And some of the things that you are likely going to do, they may backfire on you so hard and make your heart deeper. Thinking that you're making things better, they may make the heart deeper. So before you share, let's have a conversation. Let me just hear what is happening, and then I'm sure I can advise differently. Because I feel like you are in a desperate situation. You are trying to control something. You are trying to, to manage your pain. But the person you may be trying to manage your pain with may not be in the same space with you. And sharing something like this, especially now that we're even talking about it, it's in our questions, it's in our comments, it's in our questions. So sharing something like this may make your life much more difficult. So before you go into sharing, let's have a conversation with you. Just come into my inbox. Let's have a conversation. Okay. Someone is saying, I've been having childhood trauma since I was young, since I couldn't have someone to talk to. So I learned to keep it within until 2021 when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. These are the lifestyle diseases that we are talking about that can, and I say can because it may not always be, can arise out of childhood trauma. If you're thinking it's childhood trauma, I hope you are taking measures to address your childhood trauma and to heal. And I will just tell you more about it next. So integration, that integrating of your experiences will allow you to build resilience, number one, to build empathy and wisdom. So at the tail end of your healing, there will be empathy, compassion, and wisdom that you can use to build your life, to proceed and to move on. So apply the lessons that you have learned in that experience on different aspects of your life, and don't waste those lessons. So my dear, if you're here and you're in pain, please don't rush to integration. As you can see, I've discussed it at the last. The first thing is to acknowledge. And that is normally the most difficult aspect from where I sit, that is normally the most difficult thing for many people to do. So your healing will happen when you embrace all the experiences that have shaped you. All of them. You stop running away from the pain that has affected you. Stop running away from it. Stop trying to numb it. Stop trying to control it. Pain cannot be controlled. No. It is welcomed. You say, pain, yes, I welcome you. I see you. I feel you. I feel you. You are a difficult emotion. I sit with you here. And you sit with it. And you allow it to run its course. Don't run. It will leave. Pain will leave. It doesn't stay forever. Allow it to run its course. Allow it to lose its power over you. Then you heal. So when we accept who we are, that I am an awesome person, I am a lovely person, and what happened to me does not define me. It doesn't. It's not my story. It's just a part of my story. Just a part of it. It's just a part of my story. This is not me. This is a stepping stone to my next level. So the moment you are able to accept that, and this comes to the tail end, because healing from pain, like I have shown you here, has processes. So allow yourself to go through the process. At the tail end, accept that this is me. Those have been my experiences. They were painful, they were difficult, but here I am. I'm this person on the other side. I'm integrating. I've been through pain, but I've come out better. So then how do we do this process without getting overwhelmed? Because fine, if you're telling us to do all this, integrate, acknowledge, process, let go. How do we do this without getting overwhelmed? So now allow me to introduce you to a program that has been used by many women to heal from their woundedness and become healthy beings. And there are amazing stories behind this program that I love. It's called the Queen's Inner Circle. And the woman sitting on the right here is me. Very happy and very hopeful because I have taken myself through a healing journey. And the outcomes have been amazing. If you saw me 10 years ago and you see me today, I am a completely different person just from the way I look. Completely different. So I want to introduce you to the Queen's Inner Circle. It's called Reconnecting with Your Soul Journey because I want you to be able to reconnect with the authentic, true person that you are, with your gifts, your talents, and your purpose, that you'll be living an authentic life, honestly happy, not faking it. Because I've told you with healing, there's no faking it. There's nothing like faking it until you make it. You are either well or you're not well. You may fake it, but everything else around your life, your health will tell us you're faking it. Your relationships will tell us you're faking it. Because you can't run away from pain. Pain will overtake you. So the Queen's Inner Circle is a 10 weeks program. It allows you to deal with trauma and your woundedness from the roots. So we go deep down to the roots. We don't just look at surface level, we go to the roots. And it's an online program where we meet once a week. And to help you, I have broken those 10 weeks down for you so that you know what we do there. The first week, we do an introduction. Here is where we set the ground rules. I introduce the program. I tell you what you are expected to have, how the program will run, my expectations of you. I hear your expectations of me. Then we proceed. In week 2 is where we do an assessment. We want now to assess and to understand what has kept you chained. So what are these adverse childhood experiences? What is this trauma? What is pain? What is this pain? And you'll be surprised at what comes out at that stage. You start to understand yourself. Because we go to the roots. We go to your childhood. We go to your family of origin. We go to your experiences. So what are these things that are keeping you chained? Week 3, we normally understand the effects of the adverse childhood experiences in your life, what we normally call the mother and the father wounds. because the words and actions or misactions of our parents, guardians, and caretakers, the caretakers that Carol told us yesterday, they are unknowingly, for many of us, our greatest obstacles in life. Unknowingly, because these things happen at the subconscious level. So many of us are just pushing life. They're just pushing through. Something is wrong and we know, but we don't know exactly what that thing is. So those childhood experiences, especially from our caregivers, very early age, are our greatest obstacles. And the moment you start to uncover this, now your healing journey begins. It starts to get beautiful. Week 4, we embrace and process emotional pain. Now, this stuff that I'm telling you here, we make it real, we make it practical. And I know emotional pain is the most destructive one because we can't see it, we can't touch it, it's difficult to heal. Most people don't know what to do with it, they don't know what to do about it. So here, we use a very unique process to soothe and to slowly heal your emotional pain. Soothe it because you need soothing. You need to create a calm, peaceful internal environment. So this process closes those wounds. So the past stops being a barrier for you to live in your present moment happily and peacefully. Then week 5, I have these hidden here, unique healing practices. So those healing practices, I introduce them in week 5 and week 6. So they help you feed and they nurture your soul. And there's nothing as beautiful as learning how to nurture your soul, to give your soul exactly what it needs, to be able to name your emotions and in their place to create this beautiful, beautiful internal environment. So that is what we do in week 5 and week 6. Then week 7, we deal with some of the things that people have addressed here, anger and forgiveness. Two of the most healthy emotions that God has given us. So we have a unique expulsion technique that helps you release anger, the anger that has blocked your path to peace, joy, and freedom. Because the moment you deal with anger, forgiveness becomes easier. So that is why I have put those two there. Then week 8, there's boundary setting and healthy detachment. This person who is wondering what to do with their relatives who are living in trauma. So how do I detach from them in a healthy way? Healthy detachment ensures that you can have a relationship with them without them affecting you. So how do I create those boundaries and detach in a healthy way? And after this session, nobody will be able to take advantage of you. You will discover how to stand up for yourself and to demand for what you want without getting drawn into negativity and toxic energy. Week 9. This is one of the most sacred exercises that we do. And a lot of the ladies who have gone through this program will tell you the moment we did this one, is like their world opened up completely to healing. Because we put the inner judge. We have an inner judge, all of us. There's a voice that resides within us. So that puts us down many times. It's the voice that is responsible for your procrastination. It's the voice that is responsible for sometimes that fatigue that you wake up feeling. It's the voice that is responsible for anxiety. That voice. I want us to learn how to put it in a coffin because we don't need it. We nail it shut forever. And once we have done this exercise, you're able to live like a very free being. So week 9, we'll be silencing the inner critic. And week 10, we do a debriefing. Debriefing looks like this. We assess your journey. I will assess your journey because I'm the one who takes you through this class. So I'll assess your journey. What's your progress like? What are the things you've been able to heal from? Which are the areas that you need to focus on? What should be the way forward for you? So that is week 10. So this is a 10 weeks program. It's online. So, and you can never come out the same. If you do the exercises the way you are supposed to be doing them, you can never come out of this program the same. It's been specifically designed for you, and it's designed for women. By the way, this is a women's program. I understand how women process issues. I understand them. So I want you to come to this program. If you are dealing with childhood trauma, if you are dealing with difficult experiences, this program is for you. And we are starting on the 11th of September for an investment of Kenya shillings 25,000. But this amount of money cannot be compared to what will happen. And I'm seeing one of my people in the comments. Monica is saying, I have experienced the benefits of the Queen's Inner Circle. It's a safe space to acknowledge and uncover pain. Thank you, Monica. She's saying it's a great opportunity to get tools to process pain and start journey to building resilience. Very true, Monica. This is the space for everyone who is dealing with trauma and difficult experiences. It's a very safe space. Wanjiro, she's saying best investment. I did this Queen's Inner Circle. My life has not been the same. I am changing my life. Thank you, ladies, for putting it out there. So you can take advantage of the early birds offer. 20K until 4th of September. Come into the Queen's Inner Circle. If you're not still convinced, you have heard from two ladies who have done this program. Let me read for you a testimony of another lady who came through this program. This is what she says, and I have put her anonymous. She's saying, I met Ruth through her videos on YouTube. I finally had someone place names on what I was going through. After having a chat with her, she advised me to join a group therapy class where she would address childhood traumas. This is one of the best decisions. And this lady is not one of the two there. This is one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. I was so trauma bonded and I missed the abuse I had gone through in my marriage for over 20 years. When we started the class, I discovered my childhood experiences had played a major role in the way I interpreted life and made my decisions. The process of healing my childhood traumas introduced deep issues that wounded me and had to work hard to address the little child in me. That journey was hard. Addressing my parental wounds was one big assignment. The truth was, it was also not easy. But Ruth kept guiding us to push forward and do the work. I cried for days. It was hard work to accept how I had been wounded and accepting it. And forgiving myself and others was not easy. I was high on anxiety since my childhood, always walking on eggshells around my parents and spouse. I was so tired, mentally and physically. But through the various techniques that have been taught through the sessions, the anxiety has gone down significantly low. Mentally, I am very calm and peaceful. My memory retention is better. Remember the memory issues we talked about as the effects. So my memory retention is better. My body feels more relaxed than before. Oh my, I have never known good sleep until I joined group therapy. In fact, I used to wonder why people sleep if they wake up tired. Why should you go to bed if you're going to wake up tired tomorrow? I am surprised that you can sleep, but your body refuses to sleep because of anxiety. I was trauma bonded. I missed the abuse, especially of my spouse. I discovered abuse was like my love language. In group therapy, I have been able to know the right way to love myself through self-love and affirmations. I was taught that I could not love others if I could not love myself. I became very aware of my emotional needs and learned to say no to requests which felt belittling. I have learned to make healthy boundaries and to keep them no matter what other people felt, because I also had to stop the people pleasing syndrome. She was a people pleaser. I was also codependent, always needing help to make every move. Honestly, I must have been a pain to everyone I interacted with. I am more confident and decisive now. I would recommend this program to anyone who has gone through hidden abuse so that you can discover your wounds and who you can become. The sharing among group members opens you up to other hidden areas that need to be addressed. The support of Ruth and other members is key. My world is so new now. I am in a safe, loving, and confident place. I am so grounded, assertive, and able to identify abusers easily. There are many who need this. My prayer that they will get an opportunity to join the group therapy. I feel I can join again and again. She wants to redo the program over because it is so amazing. Best choice ever. Life has begun. Thank you, Ruth. You are a gift to wounded women. God bless you and the work you do. Now, that is a heartwarming story of transformation. I hear such, I get so excited. And this could be your story in the next few weeks. I want to see you thriving. Like Monica has told us, it's a very safe space. When Jiro took this class, her life has changed. We have another lady here who is feeling she can now sleep. Her anxiety has gone down. She's feeling alive for the first time in many, many years. So if you want to join this program, please come. And me being me, because I love women healing in all areas of her life, there's a program that I have done that I love very much. It's called the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Program. I'm going to give it to you as a bonus. If you think you're dealing with a narcissist in your relationship, it could be a spouse, it could just be a boyfriend or whatever. This is going to be a bonus. This course on its own goes for 5,000, but I want you to have it for free just by joining my program. The other bonus, the other free thing I want to give you is my Hidden Abuse Masterclass. If you're not sure what is happening in your relationship, all you know is that you're feeling unheard, you are stressed, you're feeling unloved, you are feeling unappreciated, you don't know where the rain started beating you. This is a bonus that I'm giving you with that course. Join the course, this becomes yours for free. Then I have authored a book. There's a book I've ordered called Hidden Abuse. This book goes for 1,500. It explains abuse that is not physical. So if you think you have been abused, but you have never been hit, and you're wondering what this is, I have a book for it. You join the course, you get this book for free. And my latest book called Positive Femininity, How to Show Up in Your Divine Feminine Power so that you are living an authentic life, because I want women living authentically. If there's something that gives me joy, is to see women thrive, is to see them get rid of the trauma and the stuff that has been holding them back. So once you join that course, I'm giving you those 4 absolutely free. So please reserve your spot. Mary Kanja is asking, must we pay the entire amount at a go, or can we do installments? If you want to do installments, come into my inbox. Let's talk. Let me see how those installments would look like. So let's have that conversation. I'm allowing people to do in installments, and ladies have already started paying. So please reserve your spot. If you want to talk to do in installments, come, let's have a conversation. I don't want to have more than 15 women in this program. Actually, even 15 is a lot, because this program does not work well with crowds. So once they are in, you can no longer be a part of this, at least for now. So if you want to make your payment, those are the payment details there. So come make your payment. If you want to take advantage of the early bird offer, it runs until the 4th of September. After that, you'll be expected to pay 25,000 Kenya shillings. But if you want to grab the early bird offer of 20,000, please do so and reserve your spot. Someone is saying, as Ruth, after one realizes he suffered trauma, could there be a recurrence of the same after going through a healing process? I normally say healing process is a journey. So it will move you from level 1 to level 2 to level wherever you get to in this life. So once you realize you have trauma and you're able to identify it and you're able to heal it, life becomes easier. Life becomes easier this way. You are able to identify toxic people. Let me just call them toxic people, because there are people in this life that are toxic. So relationships that could have brought you down, now they can't bring you down, because number 1, you're able to identify those people. Number 2, you are able to set boundaries that support you and protect you. So that's the importance of healing. Number 3, you are able to be more assertive, because a lot of us are not assertive because we are conflict averse. We don't want conflict. So we allow people to have their way at our own expense. So you are able to identify abusers. You are able to heal your wounds so that you stop getting triggered. You are able to set boundaries between you and unsafe people, and you're able to be assertive. So you can never go to the same level that you used to be, uko chini, where you used to be before you healed. So you keep growing, you keep building on it, you keep getting better. That is why healing from trauma is so effective. And you also are able to control your internal environment so that life stops threatening you. A lot of us are in panic mode. We are threatened by things that should not be threatening us because within us is a very unsafe and unstable environment. So the moment you're able to stabilize that, your anxiety ceases. Depressive episodes become far apart and eventually they cease. You are able to manage your internal environment. You're able to manage your emotions without getting overwhelmed. So recurrence is highly unlikely because of those 4 things that I have said. Esther is saying this is for me. So karibu sana, Esther. I look forward to seeing you in the Queen's Inner Circle. I don't know whether we have another question. Someone would want to ask something. There's somebody who has asked for my contact. I'm going to put it here in the comments so that those who want to have private conversations, you're welcome. You can come into my inbox and we have a conversation. So Faith is asking, Ruth, the class runs for how many days in a week? It's once a week. We normally meet on Mondays at 8 p.m. So it's once a week for 10 weeks. Okay, Esther is saying, I've gone through so much pain in my marriage that I am now numb. I don't care anymore. Numbing, Esther, is a defense mechanism. If you want to thrive, you must be willing to deal with the pain. And you can. If you have the right tools, you can deal with the pain. You only need to decide that enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to allow as my life goes to waste. Once you start your healing journey, some things you will realize as you move on is that you had given someone too much power over your life. But that is not the starting point. If we start there, we lose you. So we normally start with where you are, the pain you are in. Once we start addressing that pain, pole to first aid. I'll give you first aid. Then from there, I start walking you through the journey. And by the time you're getting to the other side, you will realize, you know what? I had given someone so much power. Because to say that you don't care, that is pain talking. That is pain talking. And I would want you to be able to address that pain. So Esther, I've put my number there. If you want to have a conversation with me, come. Vivian Natalie is saying, could toxic people also be wounded and healed? Of course. Toxic people have wounds. You can only give what you have. So if you see somebody who doesn't give peace, trust you me, they don't know peace. If you see someone who can't give love, trust you me, they don't know love. If they're giving violence, that is the situation in their internal environment. It's violent. They are wounded. They have unhealed trauma. The only catch thing is, please don't make yourself responsible for the healing of their trauma. That is not your sphere of influence. It's not. So people give what they have. You can't give what you don't have. Is it applicable to child or adults too? Childhood trauma, Lydia Mutai, and I would direct you to a video we did on advanced childhood experiences some time back, are the things that happened to you in your childhood days. Coach Paps explained that to us very well on Monday. You can also watch that video for Monday to see how she explained. The things that happened to us in childhood, the difficult experiences, they don't go anywhere. They remain with you. They keep you stuck. So they show up in adulthood. But there could also be experiences that you have gone through in adulthood that are also keeping you stuck. So when you are doing an evaluation, do an evaluation of your whole life. up to the space you are in. Catherine is asking, is the meeting online or physical? It is an online meeting once a week, online. So if you want to reserve your space, those are the payment details. Our early bird offer ends on the 4th of September. After that, we'll be paying 25,000. And I am really looking to having a lot of you in that class. It's life-changing, and I know your life will not be the same after that. So if we have no other questions, if you came in late and you want to see where we started, the same link you came in through is the same link that you can that you will rewatch this program through. It was live on YouTube, so you go to YouTube. So that link will take you to YouTube. The link on Facebook will bring you to this episode for tonight. So if you want to rewatch it, please go there. Share with a friend, someone who could not make it tonight but wanted to be here. Please share with them. And if we have no other questions or comments, I wish to say good night to everybody who came. Thank you for showing up for the 3 days. Thank you, Shiro. Thank you, Ruth. She's saying, thank you, Ruth. You're such a gem. Thank you, Shiro. I really appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Queen's Inner Circle. Don't allow yourself to be left behind. Have a good night, ladies. Thank you.